Good morning. Still not fully functional. Nah, I've been up a little while. Welcome to the channel, Great Cloudy Day. I'm Great Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. And I'm going to try to make this a fairly quick video. But I recently have... There's several books I'm reading to myself, for myself, of course. Practicing the Presence is one of them that I just started. It's a Joel S. Goldsmith book, but there's something in here I just wanted to share today, a few paragraphs. Spiritual consciousness is what it's talking about. And let's see here. It is possible to know all the truth found in the letter of truth and still be a branch that withereth. Until we so abide in the Word and let this Word abide in us, that the very Spirit of God dwells in us. There is a spirit in man. There actually is a spirit, the Spirit of God in man. No man is devoid of it, but most of us are as unaware of it as we are of the blood coursing through our bodies. God is with us. God's presence fills all space. The Spirit of God dwells in us, but how many people have felt that presence? It is talked about, prayed about, theorized about, and sermonized about, but it is not experienced. It is the conscious awareness, the actual feeling of realization of the presence, which is necessary. I talk about this a lot. Personal experience. Till you've had it, it's kind of like harder to come from a certain understanding, you know. Hold on. How do we know when the Spirit of God dwells in us? If we are letting go of hate, envy, jealousy, malice, self-seeking, self-glorification, prejudice, and bigotry, we're making room for the Spirit of God, for God cannot dwell in the midst of such qualities. As long as these qualities are present in our consciousness, we have more work to do abiding in the truth and letting the truth abide in us. Until such time as the Christ has come so alive that such mortal thoughts no longer touch us, then the Spirit of God dwells in us, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him and he with me. Like accepting that consciousness into you, being part of being aware of the true meaning of what it is to be in the now. Right now. In most religious teachings, we are told that the Spirit of God is everywhere, but that is not true. If the Spirit of the Lord were everywhere, everybody would be free, healthy, wealthy, independent, joyous, and harmonious. No, the Spirit of the Lord is present only where it is realized. Now, you'll understand this in a second. Unless we feel the actual presence of God, then as far as we are concerned, we do not have the Spirit. Again, it is a case of rolling up the window shades, or it is like saying that electricity is everywhere. That is true. Electricity is everywhere, just as the Spirit of God is everywhere. Electricity, however, will be of no value to us unless it is connected in some way for our particular use. So it is with the Spirit of God. It is everywhere in an absolute spiritual sense, but it is only effective in our experience to the extent to which it is realized. And I think that's where I wanted to end that particular. I'm not going to get into trying to share a lot of this. I'm personally just reading this for myself, and then later down the road we might actually read that on the channel, but I wanted to share that. I thought that was really moving. If you don't know, Joel S. Goldsmith, I've talked about him before. He's a Christian mystic. He's very esoteric, thinks outside the box. anyway, you would either like it or you wouldn't, and it just depends on what kind of mind frame you have. I always approach everything with an open mind and a grain of salt as well, because I understand, especially when I'm dealing with seeking truth and understanding more about my relationship with the big kahuna, the Creator, God, that sometimes I outright know instantly if I'm reading something or listening to somebody that it's BS. But then there's times that you find truths that seem to be speaking to you in some things, but you still have you have to have that question. But when I'm in the right mind frame and in tune, like for instance, when I have the presence and I'm feeling the presence, I pretty much know in that moment, whatever it is I'm consuming or thinking of spiritually, whether it's 100% or not. I think that's discernment that comes from being aware of the presence, the spirit. When you become aware that you are aware, and then you're aware of that there's a force that you're part of, and it's part of you, but it's greater than you at the same time, moving. That's what I refer to as the Christ, not just one manifestation 2,000 years ago, but what the Christ can be at any given time in the moment that is found. Christ, for me, represents being now, present. That's what I take away from the teachings, from my belief, my faith, my relationship. And I don't know how else to word that. No matter how I word it, there's going to be somebody that's not happy with however I and Christ and Creator communicate. So that's just the fact of life. And I'm being taught that. So no worries. You guys have a good day. Until next time, I got to trying to figure out and take some of these puppies out to the main road, see if I can get rid of some today. I got rid of one puppy yesterday. Took two out there, two boys, got rid of one. I'm going to try to get out there a little earlier here in a little bit. I got to get Biddy inside so I can close the door behind her, leave her in the trailer, take two of the puppies out there with the wheelchair, sit in the wheelchair, have the bin sitting beside me with a little bowl, have my bottle of water and an umbrella, and I'm going to sit out there for a little while today, hopefully. Even if I have to get out there when it's too hot, I'm still going to try to do it if I can, if I feel all right. But until next time, you guys have a great day. Mr. Gray Cloud here, Sage of the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.